Differential diagnosis of respiratory distress in the newborn. Let us see clinical assessment, etiologies, and the management frameworks of respiratory distress in newborn. Respiratory distress is a clinical syndrome characterized by increased work of breathing, tachypnea, and cyanosis. The incidence of respiratory distress in term infants is around 5%, and it is around 50% in late preterm infants, and in those less than 34 weeks gestation, it is around 30%. Respiratory distress in newborn presents as tachypnea, respiratory greater than 60 breaths per minute, increased work of breathing, nasal flaring, expiratory grunting, which is physiological attempt to maintain functional residual capacity, retractions, which can be subcostal, intercostal, suprasternal, and also cyanosis. The Downies score is a clinical tool used by medical professionals to objectively assess the severity of respiratory distress in neonates. It's originally developed by Dr. Downies in 1970. It is particularly valued in resource-limited settings because it relies solely on physical examination and doesn't require no biochemical test or specialized equipment. The system evaluates 5 clinical parameters assigning 0, 1, or 2 points to each: respiratory rate, retraction, cyanosis, air entering, and grunting. Total scores are used to categorize the infant's condition and guide immediate treatment. If it is less than 4, no or mild respiratory distress. A score of less than 4 is common, threshold for initiating nasal CPAP. If it is more than 4, nasal CPAP is needed. High initial scores that remain static or increase over time correlate with higher mortality rates. For example, score of greater than 7 is associated with a significantly high risk of death. We classify differential diagnosis of respiratory distress in newborn into pulmonary, non-pulmonary, and the surgical cause. Pulmonary cause is the most common cause of respiratory distress in newborn. From this, the first is respiratory distress syndrome, which is surfactant deficiency in preterm babies. And on X-ray, most of the time, ground glass appearance is seen. The other is transient tachypnea of the newborn. This is due to delayed clearance of fetal lung. It is common in C-section or term infants. It usually resolves in 24 to 48 hours. The other is inhalation of meconium stent fluids, which is common in postterm infants. That's meconium aspiration syndrome. The other is neonatal pneumonia, which often clinically indistinguishable from RDS, typically due to group B streptococcus or E. coli. Extrapulmonary causes include cardiac causes, such as cyanotic congenital arteries, metabolic causes such as hypoglycemia, acidosis, or hypothermia, and also sometimes hematologic causes such as severe anemia and polycythemia can cause respiratory distress. Polycythemia causes respiratory distress due to hyperviscosity. Neurologic causes include hypoxic stem encephalopathy, intracranial hemorrhage, or maternal narcotic use. Other causes of respiratory distress in newborn include surgical causes. For example, if a neonate is having scaphoid abdomen and a displayed heart sound, it might be due to congenital diaphragmatic hernia. If the baby is having excessive secretions and inability to pass a gastric tube, high likely it is tracheoesophageal fistula. If there is cyanosis that improves with crying, it can be due to choanal atresia, especially bilateral. Acute onset, asymmetrical chest rate, and a diminished breath sound can be due to pneumothorax. When we came to diagnostic workup of neonates with respiratory distress, the first is chest X-ray, which is standard to differentiate pulmonary pattern, such as hyperinflation in T10 versus atelectasis in RDS. In addition, arterial blood gas analysis, sepsis screen using CBC, C-reactive protein, and the blood culture, checking blood glucose level to rule out metabolic triggers, and transillumination for suspected pneumothorax. Overall, management strategy for neonates with respiratory distress is Non-invasive support such as nasal CPAP, which is standard first-line therapy to avoid invasive intubation. High-flow nasal oxygen, which is alternative to CPAP for mild to moderate cases. Surfactant therapies for RDS. In addition, antibiotics, broad-spectrum antibiotics can be started if infection can't be ruled out or confirmed. Overall, respiratory distress is a frequent neonatal emergency requiring rapid differentiation between pulmonary, cardiac, and surgical causes. History such as gestation and the delivery mode and the physical signs are critical diagnostic anchors. Modern management emphasizes non-invasive support and early surfactant replacement in RDS to minimize long-term lung injury. Thank you for watching.